Hey YouTube land, it's Tyrannosaurus here doing another action figure review. Now this is a Jurassic World Legacy / Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom review. I'm going to do a couple of figures and a dinosaur in together because, well, hopefully you'll save time and I will waffle on less, but we'll see. So the Jurassic World Legacy figure I'm reviewing is the baby Tyrannosaurus. Well, it says Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it looks more like it's designed off the Juvenile Rex from Jurassic World. Jurassic Park, Lost World. And then I have both Claire and Owen. Owen is the animal trainer one, I think. Now, a dinosaur trainer Owen. The only reason I'm not showing the front of the packaging is I got him off a buddy of mine, Arnold, and he wrote my name on the cover of the thing so he could remember who he was sending it to. So that's why it's flipped around this. So the back of the box for Owen does show other figures, so it shows the actual Claire figure as well. It shows the standard mercenary from Wave 1 and the Owen with baby blue, kind of the raptor trainer, I think version of Owen he is. And then for Claire's packaging, she has exactly the same packaging as Owen's. It looks exactly the same on the front, except it just says Owen. And this is the European version. If I flip it around, flop it around. If I flip it around to the back of the box, as you can see, it doesn't show any of the other characters or any information about. It just says all the legalese and just says Claire and Stegosaurus in the description. For Legacy Tyrannosaurus, this is also the European version. You just have the name of the dinosaur here. You have a kind of a indication of what it does. There's a try me feature on it as well. And when you flip it around, it has a chomping jaw action, and it just says Tyrannosaurus Rex. So, getting the dinosaur out of the way first. Here is said dinosaur, and as I said, it has a chomping jaw action. So basically, all you do is you pull down on the tail, and it does a rar sounds. Well, you have to simulate the rar sounds yourself, but it does a little rar. And when you put the capture gear that it comes with over the head, it locks the jaw as well. It looks like they had designed it to have something else attached to it, because there's these two little kind of pegs that stick out to the side. It looks like there could have been something that went from the tail to the mouthpiece, but it looks like it was dropped the last minute. Articulation on the dinosaur is kind of standard Legacy style collection, so it is kind of, I wouldn't say it's 5 points because it has the kind of regular kind of points of swivels for the feet and legs, but it also has hinges, whereas the standard attack pack dinosaurs don't have any of the hinges, they just are straight swivels. Unfortunately, no head articulation because of the gimmick. There's no swivel in the head or the neck, and the jaw is articulated, so it's when there's no capture gear on the dinosaur, it's permanently open, and when you close down the tail, it closes it, but it doesn't lock it. It would have been cool if you could have had a thing where push it down, maybe push the tail to the left or right, lock the jaw, and then you could push the tail back up again. But as it is, it doesn't have it, but it's like that. So it looks really cool. My only major gripe with it is the scale. Now, what's funny about it is it looks like it's more in scale with the original Jurassic Park Kenner line dinosaurs than the Jurassic World, the Mattel stuff. Because in the movie, they actually had, was it Vince Vaughn's character, and I can't remember his character's name, but he carried it in two arms. Whereas if I bring in, you can't exactly carry this in two arms, unless you're like He-Man or something, or Incredible Hulk. But yeah, I think the juvenile in the movie was a little bit smaller to humans. But either way, I might as well go on with the Owen figure. So this, thanks to my buddy Arnold. He has a YouTube channel as well where he has reviewed a few things, so I'll chuck a link to his YouTube channel on the description for this video. But here is Owen himself. Let me see if I can bring my lights up a bit better so you can see him. Oop, there he is. There's his face. Face isn't too bad. It's not the best likeness of Chris Pratt, it looks a bit glossy as well, but then again, all the kind of figures' faces in this line, especially the kind of more characterful or character-driven ones, guys like the mercenary just have shades on that are permanently attached, don't look any different, or don't look that different because they're not based on actual people. Well, the sculpt might be, but they're not based on characters from the movies. But articulation-wise, he has the ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders, can go out that much, single-jointed elbows. Uh, Articulation in Claire is exactly the same, so I'll show that off in a minute. He has a waist swivel, but it's a kind of weird one, so when it kind of returns, it splits his lower half. Has those weird T joints for the hips, and single jointed knees with a swivel, and you can go forward into the seating position, can't go back because of the sculpting of the pants. Now I know this is a reuse because he has this piece on the back which I'm sure is from another, I think it's from the gyrosphere version of Owen. I could be wrong, but I think there's one that has like a little knife pouch or something that goes on his back, and that's why there's a little hole on the back of the jeans for this one. But he does come with his training gear, which are these pieces. Let me make sure I have this the right way around. So this one just slides over his head. These slide over his arms. And then he holds this shield thing. Now, it looks a bit weird because in the packaging for one of the other figures I had, it looks like he's holding it like this. But you can't really get him to do that with it. I suppose you could try and get it over him. You see it has the Jurassic World logo on it. It just looks a bit awkward, but you can't really bend the elbow with the armor on. You can if you rotate it, but you can't have it looking like it doesn't actually bend properly if you have it up to the side, because the armor goes over the joint. So you have to kind of swivel it down and then move it so it looks a little weird, so it doesn't cover the whole wrist and elbows. So all in all, he's a cool figure. I do like him, and I do appreciate getting him from my buddy Arnold, because over here these figures are very hard to pick up, especially the human figures. They're come into Amazon. I had one pre-ordered on Amazon. They cancelled the pre-order on me, saying that they wouldn't be getting it in. Then other stuff kind of came in, so it's kind of hit and miss with Amazon.co.uk getting them. And the legacy figures like Alan Grant, Ian Malcolm, and all those seem to be US exclusive. You can't get them anywhere outside of the US, as far as I'm aware. So, for size comparison, here is Owen with his Hasbro counterpart from the first Jurassic World film, and the heads look completely different. In fact, this one looks like they took a Thor, Chris Hemsworth head and just painted it in kind of Chris Pratt style colours. In fact, standing the two figures together, it almost looks like the difference between Thor and Pratt, or Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt from Guardians, when they meet up in sorry, not Guardians, but when they meet up in Infinity War. You can see the size difference between the two actors, and Chris Hemsworth is so much bigger than him, which is hilarious. So if you wanted to go with that, you can kind of go that way with the older Owen figure. But on to Claire herself. Now Claire comes with a dinosaur. She comes with this kind of baby Stegosaurus. You don't really see these much in the movie. There is one or two scenes where you see an adult one, but you don't see any juvenile ones. So it's just kind of like a nice pack-in. And then she comes with this computer thing that she's supposed to hold in her hand, and it has like a readout on it. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but she can hold it in her hand and she can be looking at it. Initially I thought she held it this way when I took pictures of her, so if you're looking at the kind of pictures that I'm going to put up for the figures, I thought she held it this way, but it's the other way around. As for articulation, she is very similar to the Owen figure, so she has the same kind of ball jointed head, Lightness is okay. It's not brilliant. It's not. I think what throws it off is the orange hair looks a bit too unnatural. Um, but then again, you have the shoulder joints. She has this waistcoat on. You could probably remove it if you wanted to, but then you're left with the same color for the sleeves. So she does have that weird waist swivel as well, so it looks like her hip is broken when you twist it, but if you do a slight twist it doesn't look too bad because the waistcoat hides most of it. Same splits. She can actually go back further than Owen because of her leg sculpt. She can get seated position quite well, and she does have single jointed knees. Now I will say that when I first got her, her knee joints are very tight and I thought they were going to snap when I was moving them, so just be careful. But all in all, she's quite a good figure. Both her and Owen have peg holes on the bottom of their feet. The Stegosaurus doesn't, and I don't think, yeah, the Juvenile Rex doesn't. Just for those of you who are still collecting the barcode and probably should have this one by now, but some people passed on this dinosaur because they weren't a big fan of it. That was the barcode for scanning for the app. So, just so I bring in a measuring tape, just so you can see the heights. So Claire stands just roughly 3 3/4 inches. Owen stands just a little higher, around the 4 inch mark, and the Rex is 3.5 on. If you have it at a kind of neutral pose, you can bend it up a bit higher and kind of balance it on its tail, and that would probably bring it up another inch or so. So that brings it just over to the just over 4 1/4 inches if you do it that way. And for another size comparison, if I stop knocking things over, just going to move the accessories out of the way. And here is Owen with blue. This is the attack pack version of blue. That's the only one I have, so scales up quite nicely. She's a little, I'd say she's a hair bigger than she should be, but not by much. And then for other comparisons, I have the Alan Grant figure, the General Mercenary figure. If you're wondering why he looks different to the standard one, it's because I repainted him. I have at least 4 of them, or 3 of them at this stage. So I tried my hand at kind of giving them a slight customization. And here is, if I can get her to stand properly, Zia figure with the rest of them. The only figure I'm missing from my Jurassic World line that I have and I haven't dug out is the Wheatley figure, which is upstairs somewhere. And then just for one more size comparison, here is the old Mrs. Kirby figure from Jurassic Park 3 from Hasbro. So she actually scales up quite nicely if you still have some of the Jurassic Park 3 figures. The Grant one looks really bulky compared to him, but the Mrs. Kirby one looks okay. And I have the kid as well, who's Jack, somewhere, and he probably scales up quite nicely as well. So there you go, guys. Quick video review for the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is technically juvenile Tyrannosaurus, Claire with Stegosaurus, and the Owen Grady figure. So hopefully I didn't waffle on too much, and I hope you enjoyed this video review. And I do recommend picking up these figures. The Owen figure is quite cool with the accessories you get. There's a few other ones out there as well that are kind of cool as well. I think there's one called a Mercenary Owen figure, and then there's the one that comes with the little baby blue. Depending on your preference, I think they all pretty much have the same head sculpt, and it's just a different look. So as you can see, the one with baby blue comes with kind of a white shirt and an overshirt, which kind of looks more like the traditional way he looks in the movie and on the cover of the packaging. But the training one looks really cool as well when you have them all geared up too. So there you go, guys. Quick video review. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll get to see the next one. And as I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.